Well, hello, class. This particular chapter is about training and selecting employees. So, before we get into the nitty gritty of this, I would like to maybe offer some suggestions about how the chapter is set up. In brief, the chapter is devoted to the issue of ongoing training and the development of employees, as we know, is so vital to a progressive company with an aggressive strategic plan. So, we've gone through needs analysis, techniques, purposes, and evaluation in this chapter. But the chapter points out the importance of new employee orientation, and it's going to list some of the important things to cover during an orientation process. You know, as we discussed so many times in class, usually the HR budget is the first thing to go in, and it's usually the first thing to come out because employers don't see the immediate gratification of the training. But as you talked about so much in your writings that I just corrected, um, employee training is an investment. It's an investment in employees and growing the organization. So employers are finding that a lack of ability to handle basic tasks in an organization are very real, and the need for basic skills and literacy training, believe it or not, is important. Language training, because we have such a diversified type of organization in many ways, in many companies, the need to understand and read English is important because translations sometimes in other languages are taken so literal. So we need a multilingual workforce. So, how do we go about doing all this? Well, the chapter breaks itself down into, first of all, we talked about orientation. So, orienting and onboarding new employees is essential. And an employee engagement guide for managers is important. What is the overview of the training process? Aligning strategy and training. And then ADDIE, the ADDIE 5-step training process, is something that we should be talking about. And how about, we had a job analysis? How about conducting the training needs analysis? And then actually designing a training program. As an organizational consultant, I would have to do this a lot. Design a training program that suits a particular organizational culture. And then developing and actually implementing the training program. What types of tools are we going to use? Um, I had recently conducted a course, and actually Anthony was in my course on employee training and development. And we went into like all of the steps of actually putting a training program together, like OJT, on-the-job training, apprenticeship training, job instruction, lectures, programming models, audio visual training, like some of the training I'm doing here with video conferencing, simulated learning experience, virtual classroom, social media, diversity training, team training. All of these things reflect 21st century needs, and our progressive companies actually using these techniques. So, when we talk about implementing a management development process, we're looking at strategy's role in management development. What about succession planning? And a lot of you in your essays that you just wrote, you talked about specifically some companies that employees were there 20, 30 or more years. Okay, what about succession planning? Especially if individuals are on the upper echelon of the organization. How are we planning for their successors? Off-the-job management training and development, when we go off-site, that's getting expensive these days. A lot of times they used in-house computerized training. And what about leadership development and talent management development? How do we deal with change, organizational change when that comes up? So these are some of the things that we're going to be talking about. How do we design a study to know what type of training that we need? So what I'm going to do is, that's kind of an overview of the chapter, and then I'm going to be putting some YouTube videos for different sections of the chapter, in which we will be discussing, obviously, in class on Wednesday. So, on that note, have a wonderful day, and see you Wednesday.